Sorry. 'Cause it's
For camera time.
Oh yeah. No, this is gonna be a shocking race for me. I mean, I'll probably be in the thick of like the fucking action, but just at the back with Brett.
Are you in, mate?
Maybe
These
Brett.
are going to be fucking penalty galore. It's just going to be...
You actually missed a couple by like a millisecond last week, Zach and I. There were some really good ones, and you just went to them after, and I was like, oh, there's some really good back and forth there.
Fucking wreck control. Yeah, wreck control, boys. Oh, make sure you pick your car, mate.
Bro's fucking gone.
I'm here, you fucking rat.
Yeah, then why haven't you picked your car, you fucking
I'm
idiot?
being friendly. I was just
Come on,
trying to say, hey, Mo, I just said make sure you pick it. They're the ones corny dogs instead of right.
No, well, they're not wrong. They're not wrong.
No,
I'll take it.
Alright, looks like everyone's in now, eh?
Right, I
good.
think that was it.
Come on, hurry up.
Mendy.
Let's go.
No Mendy.
No, Mendy, you guys are
Where's
fucked. Oh, he's not. He's had enough, mate.
He's taking a
He's
stand.
too sad to race.
Oh, really? That's not nice. Yeah, he's taking a stand. He's on strike. What? These stewards got to
Shit.
go, mate.
I hope he heard that.
Is that a sniper, mate? Is it?
There's indeed a spider monkey.
Let's get some points for
Monkey.
Ugh.
He's not in chat though, is he?
No, he hates that.
Yeah,
Not have you. So have you. I've seen you.
Welcome, everyone, to round 10, week 10 of the FNL Premier League. It is going into the tracks of the USA and Mexico this evening. So, as the drivers proceed to ready up, let me just double check that it's working. It is. So we've got our replay system up and running. No need to, we're not going to lose anything. And I think everything else is good to go. We have, I believe, 16 drivers on the grid this evening coming into the tracks of the USA and Mexico. 225% races, one-shot qualifying in both. And we have our top driver who's in the current AlphaTauri spot for Rappel is the very lazy Tau in Russian characters, so don't get confused of what you're seeing there. So going into likes of turn 1, and we still have Davies in the lead of the one-shot qualifying event here as we toggle over to him to see what it's like going through these S's. Very sharp, crisp. Oh, you can see he goes slightly wide, but downshifts immediately to get that narrow sector, or narrow line into that curb to show more of a perfected line through turns 10. Now we're going into the heavy braking zone, into the first second long DRS part of the circuit here, as there's only two parts, one in the start, finish straight, and up to turns 13. So he's coming down here, very easy overtaking zones through here, obviously with the likes of ERS and DRS available to these drivers into the large braking zone, and then we're going into the tricky sector 3 zone here. As Sniper Monk has taken the lead, these two are exchanging positions through here, and we'll finish the rest of the session on board as it comes to the advantageous part that we can make a huge overtaking lunge down the inside, taking advantage into the sweeping triple right-hander, notorious for Max Verstappen, making a move down the inside through there, but using way too much of the circuit, actually cutting the corner and gaining an advantage lock-up, causing Davies to actually lose 2 positions from that, and it slots himself into P3. But Masticles, with a very... he's not wrong, but he's still got the fastest time in the one-shot qualifying, which is a 1:31 on the dot. he was getting an average around 130.8 in our practice sessions, and it shows that he loses only 2/10 of his overall pace when it comes to any pressure in short one-shot qualifying. So it's Masticles, Sniper Monk, Davies, Ghost, Dills, Null, Yumpsy, Technique, Vass, and Crystal. So there's got to be two things that you're going to notice before we continue into tonight's race. Is there's no Kane and there's no Rappel. So two of the drivers leading the championship and P2 in the Drivers' Championship are both not attending this week's racing. So this is a moment for Null and Davies to jump up and potentially take a P2 slot by the end of this week. As I'll adjust some of the final bits of volume. Wait, is it wet? Ooh, shush! Shush! No wonder there was a pace deficit. They were using a wet or intermediate setup for tonight's race. Obviously, with these slicky conditions, they will be starting on the intermediate tyre. They don't have to pit because of the wet conditions. So if the drivers are smart enough, they're not going to pit for fresh inters when they can go for the whole race. One, two, three, four, five red lights here at the Circuit of the Americas. And away we go. A very timid start here from the drivers, obviously with these slick conditions. People are just trying to gain traction, try and find the right line into turn one. And we're seeing no major hiccups. A couple cars going wide. That's just due to the fact that they're not used to these timid conditions here at Dakota. Oh, I should say Coda. Now we're going through the S's here through Sector 1. Beautiful camera angle, seeing all the cars go through this tricky sector. And we're not seeing... Oh, we've got a Haas that spun around with the contact, and there's got to be just a bit of a traffic jam taking off the camera screen. And I think that was Crystal and Zach there. But there were so many cars that were in that grouping that it was so hard to pick up who actually initiated that incident. As we'll have a look at the replay. I'll drag it off just in case to see if it's working on my end. It is, because I like to watch it as well. So you can just see a couple of cars get caught up in the incident, but then the RD, and is that Davies once again? Oh, and that's his teammate, and that's Bird as well. So Dills, Mr. Consistent and half spinning, gets his teammate involved, getting more front wing damage, and then Ghost battling to keep the lead of the Grand Prix against Masticles. So we're not even at the end of lap one. And it's already beyond interesting here at this 5.5 kilometer circuit. And in the wet, it's got to seem like it's 10. So the time difference is still within a second with all these drivers, but not like it matters. You can see the wing damage between the guys near the bottom half of the grid, where they're making slight mistakes. Obviously, the braking zones are going to be so much more difficult for them. So let's see what Yumpsy can do on potentially an injured Davies here. No, Davies looks like his front wing is intact, has survived the chaos of turns 1 and turns 10. So Ghost with the fast lap of the Grand Prix, obviously finishing P1, so that's what you get. Oh, we've got more chaos in the back end. Was that Bert that missed the pit line? Or was he meant to go into the pits and he just made a mistake and then he just hit the wall? That could have potentially happened. So let's go on a driver that's probably going to make a move pretty soon. That's Yumpsy on Davies here. But with the traction deficit as well as the dirty air going through Sector 1 to make a move into Turn 10, is he going to go and have the balls for it? He's not. As you can see, the predicted pit stop strategy, I was correct. There's no need to pit again. These Inters can survive 14 laps comfortably. And if anyone pits, it's because they might experience a pop tyre, but we're looking at a no pit race here unless the track dries up and the softs will become quicker. So here we would usually have 56 laps if it was full, and we're only doing 25%, so yeah, 14 laps. That does make sense. And the fastest lap record is a 1:36 by Leclerc in 2019, and that was with the illegal Ferrari. Don't know why that time stands if that's allowed. What at America? No thanks. But it's the championship, Rappel. Tao making his move down the inside of one of the many turns that you can take advantage of. Any minute now getting exposed from that inside move, getting the more grip than what people initially think. Oh, as we have another incident, it's potentially Vass. It looks like we're going to see a move by maybe Yumpsy still, the driver to look out for in these wet conditions. But mainly I'm looking out on the track map to see if anyone's making a mistake. The telemetry, everyone's around that 1.1 second difference, except for two drivers, Yumpsy on the back of Davies, and any minute now on the back of the very lazy Tao in Russian. As you can see, there's already a dry line producing from these drivers following the track map that is provided. But if you watch on, oh, there we go, a bit of a Tokyo drift, as most Merc drivers have got a drifting background, as we've seen previously in Singapore, that he knows how to catch a car on an angle. So as we keep looking at the telemetry, this is the best race on board. As we can see, a Alpha Tauri getting all sideways there, catching the car. And that actually might set up any minute now to make a move into turn 13. Oh, turn 12, sorry. But no, the driver that might make a move next is actually Davies. So Dills is actually going to not Davies, Dills could potentially try and push to make a move on any minute now, coming in the next couple turns. But let's see if any minute now makes a move that Tao did previously. No. Wants to keep that driver line, but Tao goes deep into turns 15. So he gets that position done. No, he's going to hang it down the inside. Side-by-side racing. Slight contact onto the side pod, causing him to spin. Collects the wall. Is that damage for Tao? No, but he sits there patiently waiting that he knows there's other cars coming. So Yumpsy's still on the back of Davies. Tao is still waiting to get the car out of the way, as he does. Always got to be a dangerous spot to try and maintain that position. The inside touch on those side pods are an insta spin. It's just coding 101. So Yumpsy's still trying to push on Davies here. And Tao gets 3 seconds trying to put that car into the pit lane, most likely to, if he's got wing damage. And Sector 3 yellows, that's Burt making a mistake. So is there any other battles on track any minute now? Lost lost a position to Dylan. So a wet race when all the drivers said they haven't had one all season. Well, a full wet race we still haven't seen. Intermediates are the way to go. As the time against Yumpsy and Davies is actually slowly separating. But again, these drivers are racing for 14 laps. There's not going to be a pit in sight unless the track decides to dry up. And that's a famous rule, if most drivers actually remember that, is there's no need to pit when it's wet. So you can do a no stop and win the race, and it allows you, there's no need to switch to a different compound of tyre. As we have Sector 2 yellows, it's a very lazy Tao. Caught into the gravel trap in the S's there into turns 4 and 5. Will not prompt a safety car or virtual, but we're going to see a move here. Overtake mode engaged, and he's going to slam it down the turns of turn 1. And yeah, Davies can't really do anything about that unless try and put an over and under move on him, as he's on the right behind him on the gearbox of Yumpsy. But that dirty air plus the wet is just going to make it a bit, you know, you got to have some balls to try and push for another move. And that dirty air, you can already see him being dragged out, and then the oversteer of the car pushing him wider as well. So these conditions to try and follow through the S's are just so impossible. And he's already pulled 1.2 seconds away from just that sector alone. And then Towers also came off the track once again. Yeah, he's got a bit of front wing damage. It's going to be hard to pull that car up in the wet. So technique is actually catching up on Davies at the moment. but he's trying to cool down his tyres using the wet side of the track just to cool down those tyres to give him some more longevity towards taking those tyres and the car to the end of the race without a pit stop. So let's see what Zach can do on the back of Vass. Doesn't rain much in Austin, especially when it comes to these F1 starts here. I've never seen a full wet race, especially in conditions, as he goes in Tokyo drifts through turns 12 to 13. Tao's race goes from bad to worse, getting 5 seconds going into the pits. Obviously not meaning much, being in the last position that he's in. But yeah, the best driver to probably look out for is Sniper Monk here, trying to catch up to the back of Masticles. And Ghost, who says, I don't like this track, is now 2.3 seconds ahead of Masticles, who was showing in the dry conditions he was the fastest car on track by around 5/10 in the practice leading up to these events. But he has fallen behind massively, probably with an impromptu inter setup, or he's using a dry setup, as Tao looks like he came out at the wrong time. He's got to let these drivers go past. That's why the yellow flags were displayed. So 6/10 behind Masticles. It seems like they've both got a huge amount of ERS, and they should engage that as soon as possible. But yeah, you can see that the wheel spin that was developing on that Ferrari. So let's see if we can see a move here. 4/10. Probably going to be a risky move if he goes for it. No, he's going to stay behind the car of 66. Sniper Monk will stay behind 5/10. No other car seems to be having a battle on track except for Crystal, right behind Papa Fresh of the Racing Point. And he is a lot closer actually, so we can probably see the battle that is going to go down the inside. No, he's going to stay right behind Papa Fresh for the meantime and go through Sector 3 chasing that gearbox. So let's stay towards the front of the pack here. The podium getters for this evening. Very Lazy Towel is now disqualified for receiving multiple penalties, and that was under 7 laps. Probably the best thing for Towel, so he can probably recover and make a move in Mexico after this short break these drivers will have. Oh no, Sniper Monk with a 3-second time penalty through the S's, potentially because of the dirty air behind Masticles. So with that 3-second time penalty, he falls behind Yumpsy, and Yumpsy has a free podium if he stays within 3 seconds of Sniper Monk. And by the looks of it, Sniper Monk looks like he's got to start pushing now, especially getting in front of Masticles. Look at him pull up the car. He doesn't lock up as well, but you can hear the front right nearly deemed to be locking up as well. So he's got to use overtake mode. He's gotten that wheel spin under wraps, but it's about if he can get a quicker straight line than Masticles, and it just doesn't seem like he just doesn't have enough. Even with the slipstream, he's 4/10 behind. He sticks the nose in just to show that he's there and willing to make a move sooner or later, but he's got to hold on for the meantime. The drivers of Zach and Vass are battling out at the back of the pack here. Same thing, just doesn't have enough to try and catch up to him as we go on to the big turns of turns 11 and 12 on the long straight, and he looks like he's already got an advantage here. Turned on his overtake mode a little bit earlier, but Vass' overall speed is keeping him ahead of Zach, and he has to stay down. A little bit of trail braking as well to not lock up and keep the advantage and pressure on the back of Vass. As everyone's around that 2-second mark, Ghost is still pushing, and he's getting fastest laps of the race. He might make a radio call, being Lewis Hamilton, that these tyres are dying because his inters are near the end of their expiry date. But again, these drivers do not have to pit. Now Sniper Monk has fallen down to 1 second. Vass, Yumpsy is 1.3, so they're staying consistent. Sector 2 yellow flags. Is that a... Oh, that was just a Burt. Maybe with a small mistake. But the mid pack from 6th all the way down to 10th, they're just 3 seconds, 2 seconds away from each other. So their races is just going to be so boring to try and maintain pace, because being by yourself on an F1 track and staying quick is very difficult. Most people with a competitive mindset like to have a driver near them to get the best out of them. Now Crystal having a fantastic sector 1, runs wide, but he's got to have a great braking zone into turns 11, and he's got to slam it already, overtake mode 60%, and he's got to get this move done potentially on Papa Fresh into turns 13. As you can see, the car gaining more rapidly than Papa wanted it to be, but it's all about the braking zone. Is he going to make a move? Does he feel confident? No, he's going to hold behind for one more lap, unless he sees an opportunity to make a move, using all, preferably not on the dry line there, because you could find grip somewhere else on the circuit, but he's got to stay behind and potentially fall to around 7/10 after that. But Yamsi showing that he's the quickest car on track currently with a 147.0. So Ghost might have to recharge the battery to try and push for a fastest lap, because he did qualify on pole. He's led every single lap, start to finish. And getting a fastest lap, that's a perfect Grand Prix right there. Obviously, there was a slight exchange between him and Masticles, but to lead every lap, crossing the line first every time, that's the main thing. But it looks like Sniper Monk. It looks like he wants to set up a move. And look at Ghost. He's still extending that lead, 4.1. I think that was a slight touch there by the Ferrari. And he's got to just stay behind. So let's see if Crystal's going to stay behind. Oh yeah, he's definitely staying behind. He hasn't set up himself easily as he did last lap. But Papa's holding out for that P10. And just stays behind still. Oh, here we go, Zach. Oh! Nearly made a move on Vass there, placing his car down the inside, but pulling out. It looks like he didn't want to make contact with the side pod, causing him to spin. Look at him trying to find the grip there, lock up front left. Vass taking a wider line of entry, so his car is straight up out of the exit. And look how much this car's getting dragged out. More of a wetter surface could potentially have more grip. Lock up. The tyres sound like they're potentially dying on how easy they're locking up. Maybe they need to be in the water a little bit more. Double lock up from Ghosty. So we'll have a few laps on Ghost until we have someone that's racing. Oh, Crystal. Here we go. Oh, awfully wide. Is he outside the second? No, he stays within it. But he's just... It's this yo-yo effect of being within a few tenths to being outside of a second as soon as he comes to the easiest part of the circuit to make an overtake. And he's fallen to 1.2, so we'll just stay on board Sniper Monk for probably until the end of the race. Not on board with him because he's fucking revving the shit out of this game. So, yeah, you can Probably just watch it from there. There we go. So Coda has similar track layout because it was designed by the same person, being designed by Herman Tichtel, or Tichtel, I think. That's how you pronounce it, I don't know. Herman is his name. But the turns of 3 through 6, which is the S section, very similar to the S curves in the high-speed corners of Silverstone, going through Maggots and Beckett. Also, the S curves, like through Suzuka. While turns 12 and 15 mimic the Hockenheim Stadium sector. And then the uphill going into the wide of turn 1 is meant to be, hey, everything's bigger in Texas, providing a bigger wide section of the track and pushing for overtake. So that's why that part of the track is a lot wider than any other section in the circuit here at Texas. But that's some track facts, since something's finally happened here with Sniper Monk making a move down the inside. And we're going to see them go side by side. And he gets in front. But look who's popped up in this fight as well, Yumpsy. So while I was looking and reading track facts, since everyone was within once outside of a second of each other, Yumpsy has entered the picture towards this fight against Masticles and Sniper Monk. Probably they were battling this whole time. And knowing me, at least I had the camera on them. It was just so boring. But here we go. Sniper Monk finally getting that fresh air. And let's see what pace he can produce, because he's still got to fall down to 4th with these 2 laps to go. But who knows, anything can happen here. He might get fresh air for the first time and just fall behind. And there we go. Masticles gets himself 3 seconds worth of time penalties. So now Yumpsy's getting a free ticket to P2. So now this is what it comes down to, is the psychology of a driver. Do you stay behind knowing that you get that P2 slot for free? Or because you have that racing mindset that you want to finish in front of them, that you push and go past them anyway, just in case they get those time penalties removed? See, that's the thing that you have to think about now as a driver. Do I want to make a move, or do I want to stay behind? Because these two are bickering in the front. You might grab both of them anyway. Yumpsy, I believe, still has the fastest lap of the race. Oh, I think Sniper Monk made a small mistake, unless he went wide on purpose. I thought he was catching the car there as I was mid-yawn. So Yumpsy is just watching from behind. He might be pushing, because if he wanted to, he would use overtake and just toggle that on here and there. But again, these drivers might be trying to keep their tyres intact, you know? So he's 1 full second slower than his fastest lap time, because of the drag between the drivers behind. Deals carrying racing point as per usual. He actually half spun, causing Papa Fresh damage. So yeah, it's one of those ones again. But yeah, Yumpsy trying to follow behind. He might get 3 seconds himself if he just keeps pulling up those errors. Oh, and Sniper Monk's made a huge mistake. Re-enters on the circuit safely. But Masticles, seeing that, wants to take advantage of this injured Ferrari. Sniper Monk going wide again, trying to stay in front of Masticles. And Yumpsy's just watching this all from behind with a free P2 and slot on the table. So Sniper Monk going wide again. And looks like Masticles is going to exchange his position one more time. But look at him. As soon as he gets out of the slipstream, it's a lot harder for him to get past. I think Sniper Monk has conceded. Turning off his overtake mode. Yeah, he's out. So we'll get a view from Yumpsy's POV here of what these two look like while racing. And Masticles gets that free slot in. Sniper Monk getting a little bit of a drift. Oh, and he sent it. He's cut the inside of the corner. Is he going to resurface on the circuit making contact? No, he stays behind. But what was going... Is it maybe a potential tyre pop? No, he seems to be still okay. But what was the reason for the cut? Sector 3 yellows. That's Zach. Probably crashed at the end of pit lane. Donuts. when there's still a race going on? So we still have the red glitch on the Ferrari, so we're not going to stay on his POV. As I say that. I'm on Masticles. This game is so fucked. So now Yamsi, gaining that free position from Sniper Monk's poor addition of going wide, is now battling for Masticles. So yeah, he definitely has the driver standard here. And he wants to make a move on Yamsi, so we can see the difference of the line shown here. Oh, Yamsi! What a catch! And now he's got... Oh, Sniper Monk! What's going on here? Did a tyre pop? No, his tyre seems to be fine. What was that snap? What was that? Is that Zach? Oh my god, everything's happening. But now Davey slots up. No, he's still behind, but he's also got a time penalty. Yamsi gets a time penalty. So now they're fighting for position, but he still has a podium. I missed a lot. He must have got a time penalty for saving the car. And all the drivers have fallen out of battling conditions, except for Dills and Noor here. So, as Ghost... Oh, hello, Zach. But let's go on board Ghosty here. He got P1 in qualifying in the dry, and he's led every single lap of the Grand Prix. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure he got P2. Masticles was actually P1. I take that back. It's not a perfect Grand Prix. But Ghost still wins, and Masticles falls into P2. And Yamsi, P3. Could have been a P2 finish, except for getting that time penalty on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Sniper Monk, who made 2 or 3 individual mistakes on the last 2 laps, pushed him down to P4. But since everyone was getting time penalties, they weren't even. There was no need to just stay behind another driver. Everyone finished in their final positions. Will, with that P1 second race in a row, must be hacking. I think he's doing a Lewis Hamilton strategy of just saying how dog shit he is and his tyres are trash, and then he just goes and wins the Grand Prix. He's done that twice. He doesn't like Suzuka, he wins, and he said he doesn't like Coda at all, and he won, and it was in the wet. So he's definitely got that reverse psychology Lewis strats going on. But Yamsi grabs the driver of the day given by Codemasters. So let's have a look at that. I think this was Yamsi having a... I think this was Yamsi catching the car, but we'll have a look at their podium celebrations during this time of Ghost, Masticles, and Yamsi. So let's have a look. So top right of the corner. So you can see him catch the car. Skirt, skirt. And that's probably where he got his time penalty from as well, trying to regain that position. But it was Ghost, Masticles, Yamsi's our top 3. Yamsi with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix by 1/10. No one else was close enough to that time except for Ghost. Sniper Monk, Davies, Technique, Null, Dills, any minute now invested your top 10. But for the top 2 drivers that are not here, Rappel and Kane, seeing Davies and Null just being that middle of the pack drivers is probably putting a smile on their face because the pressure has eased off a little. But yeah, that was race 1 of week 10. We'll be having a 5-minute interval break while the drivers get ready for Mexico. So we'll be right back in a few minutes. back. And of course, because we toggle back to the main screen, we get to see Yumpsy catch the car again. Welcome back, everyone, to week 10, round 2. We are at Mexico with the famous stadium sector, as we can see on screen right now. Just in case, let me grab some information about this track in case the race is boring as fuck. So yeah, we'll be looking at 3 DRS zones this evening here at Mexico. At the Gran Premio Calidad de Mexico. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce the whole, or the Autodrome is an easy way of just saying it. So the longest track start finish line of all of the F1 calendar is here at Mexico, from the end of turn 17 to turns 1, with a huge DRS zone involved. So drivers are maxing out their cars 330 plus before they even get mainly at the end of that DRS zone. So yeah, here we go. Are we looking at that 330? Yeah, we go. And he's capping out 335, 333 into the hard braking zones of turn 1. And then he goes into a tricky little S section of turns 2 and then 3. And then the same DRS zone detection from turn 17 is offering you DRS here as well. So you're going into turns 4. We'll be going into a nice little hard left-hander here. Don't want to track extend too much here because I'll invalidate your lap instantly. And then a double right-hander through here. We're staying on Ghost for this whole lap because he won at the US, so we're staying on board. Sweeping left corner, and then we're going into the very tricky S section here. So yeah, you want to just go a little bit slightly off throttle. There we go, and then flat back down, and then into the third DRS zone of the circuit, and then into the hard braking zone, entering the stadium sector. You can go a little bit wide and then use all that outside there. Toggling into gear 1 will give you a wheel spin into the slow technical area of the stadium sector into turn 16, and then finishing up, you hold the inside line, hug the inside line. He doesn't hug it as much, but he will stay with a 15.9 for P4, and Davies collects P1 with a 1:15.2 with Null. So yeah, the P3 and P4 in the Drivers' Championship have finally stepped up with the vacancies of Kane and Rappel. So there's our one-shot qualifying with only 8 drivers completing their lap. Burt with possibly his highest qualifying position here at FNL Premier League in P8. And then the way the disqualifications work is the earlier you do it in the lap is the furthest down you'll be. So potentially here, Crystal will probably got turns 2 and 3, potentially 3 here, and then maybe who DNF disqualified themselves first throughout the S's of the turns 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So I think it's a similar lap amount to the US. I think it's a total of 14. But it could be more. Three, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go here at the Autodrome here at Mexico. And it seems to be already tangled up with the front. Is that Yumpsy? Yumpsy was already slammed into the pit wall. The car's weaving, trying to find track position as well as space. Oh, Renault getting caught up in all that. And then we're going into a 3 wide through turns 2. Concertina effect causing a lot of front wing damage. And then through into turns 4, there's a huge grouping of cars at the back of the grid. Front 4 seem to be unscathed, but it's all about the clusterfuck happening back here. This is very un-Charlie Foxtrot of these drivers. Burt being finessed all the way back down to 16th instantly with Yumpsy. As we have a Ferrari going wide, Licorice rejoins on the circuit at probably a worse, but not the best timing. Oh, right up the gearbox. Ferrari catches itself. Oh, there's just way too much to commentate on. Way too much action. Drivers are slow down side by side. Probably collection of an M plate. No, but Tao gets consumed by 2 drivers at once. He stays down the inside. More contact down the inside. Nearly hits the inside wall there. The front 4 have spaced them out comfortably here. But look at this train that's developed here from 6th, 7th all the way down to 13th. Probably even down all the way to 15th. So we can see some trailing here from the few drivers behind. So, oh, there's Sniper Monk. He's into the wall. He's lost a lot of front wing damage from that. Mo jumped so many at the start. Yeah, he did a fantastic job jumping into P3. We'll actually have a look at the overall details here of the most jumps. So he jumped 3 positions. Yeah, he caught Dill's Ghost and any minute now off into turns 1 and 4 most likely. And now he's got his teammate riding on the back of him, already using a lot of ERS consumption in the opening 2 laps. But you need to battle and do that at the start to just stay within that 1 second range and then be comfortable with the 3 DRS zones around this circuit. So as we toggle back down, the drivers have opted to go for some mediums at the back of the pack, extending their race long before the first stop. So let's see, Dill's going to make a move. No, Dill's actually going to hold behind Papa because I think he's going to toggle on the DRS at the end of Sector 2. Because the detection zone for DRS's 1 and 2 is at corner 17 as Ghost heavy braking into a double lockup to avoid contact with Dylan. So Dills is holding back Ghost and Papa Fresh is holding back down Dills. But with the likes of Dirty Air, let's see what these drivers can do. Here we go. DRS is available for the driver. Let's see if he uses it and makes a move. Again, you do not want to make a move into the corner of turns, I think that's turn 12. So, because if you make a move into turns 12, you'll be giving the driver a bigger advantage getting DRS into turns 1. Because with the double detection zone, you'll be battling them into the corners of turn 1 and turn 4. So Ghost has actually fallen back massively here. So let's see if Deals is going to get past Papa here. But Papa also has DRS on Null here. And Davies is already pulled 2 seconds away from Null here. So that is quite strange to see him already pull that time away in the opening 4 laps here at the Autodrome Mexico. So let's see if Papa goes and makes a move. He wants to have that inside line. And he's braked hard. But he also toggles himself into the inside. Over and under move by Null. Side by side contact into turns 5. Side by side turn 6. Into turn 7. Here we go. Massive moment here. If they're going to say side by side. And Papa's going to stay by side by side. And there's contact. Nearly pushed him. And he's into the wall. Front wing damage and all. Null recovers and still battles on against Davies here. So he's going side by side now with Vass. And there comes a speedy match. Oh, he just caught the end of that. And Zach's around. And he makes contact with his teammate, Technique. Oh my god, what a moment here at FNL. Safety car has been deployed. I can calm down for a moment and regain my marbles of what happened from turn 7 to turns 11. All of Sector 2 was just on fire then. The drivers that have started on the mediums have to probably just go long or concede and try and drag out the softs. Going on the mediums is a murder. It's just not worth it. So let's calm it down a little bit and let's just stay on board with the effective leader of the Grand Prix, who is yet to pit, is Yumpsy. But Davies is out. And he's already in front of Crystal, so there's no need to really battle. What's Crystal doing? Oh, it looks like Crystal wanted to make a move there, but yellow flags, you can't get past him. No, no, no. Papa Fresh says no. So this all started from the inside move of Davies. Now, with the ability of checking my replay, so we'll quickly toggle that on. So yeah, we call the end of the moment here with Papa making contact with Null, and then you can see, as you can see, just from when I was toggling through trying to find him again, we could see when Papa rejoined, there was another incident behind. I don't know if it was maybe Papa Fresh rejoining, and then Zach made a, he flicked the wheel to maybe adjust, causing him to spin through there, or he caught the grass on his own. But potentially it was two different incidents at once, or it was all a concertina butterfly effect from Papa trying to hold the inside line of turn 7, which effectively isn't the wisest move to make, just because of how narrow that cutoff is. He wasn't particularly having the corner. He wasn't in front to, own that corner initially. But I thought he would have got pulled out and just stayed behind and claimed DRS out of turn 7, out of turns 11 going into 12, and then making a move into turn 1 with DRS. So yeah, we've gotten it's 18 laps as well, so extra 4 laps to what I was predicting. I don't know. And Licklish has retired from the race in Sector 3. So what's happened here? Oh, hello. He's just smashed the wall somewhere. Oh, dearie me. So the effective leader of the Grand Prix is Davies, since Yumpsy is yet to pit. I will take it that everyone is on the medium compound, except for the people that start on the mediums, either going long or have pitted and copped it for the softs. So the soft runners will have to try and run maybe 10 laps. Maybe 10 laps on those softs, and 10 lap softs in Mexico is going to be a very difficult ordeal for these drivers, as everyone's favorite Candy has retired and left the session. So drivers already accumulate time penalties as Yumpsy, Crystal, Tal, and Zach. So it's going to be an interesting start. I would like to see how Yumpsy does a race restart here at Mexico. Full knowing that the safety car has to be inside a non-dangerous location to be able to go flat and restart the race, as safety car is in this lap. Let's see if he starts slowing down the pack. Let's see if he initials this restart properly, as he is slowing down. Kane, if you are watching, this is you have to make sure the safety car is in, or else the game will take control of the pace. And with all good race restarts, you want to maintain one particular speed, as Yumpsy is staying within that 100. And let's see if he pulls the trigger. He has slowed down massively, as now Davies gets 5 seconds worth of time penalties because of Crystal. Yumpsy could have done a better job holding holding the pack up, but he's gotten a huge advantage, funny enough, and he's gained 4 seconds already. And Davies has got 5 seconds worth of time penalties, and Dills is going to make an advantage as well. This is basically a huge race restart from what we had previously, and I think that's Vass maybe going down the inside. Oh, there's contact! Crystal's gone from bad to worse, and that's Ghost also just hitting the side pod of him. Oh, it nearly did a Daniel Ricciardo, reversing into Technique. Oh, wow. So a driver from winning Japan, winning the US, is now fallen into P13 here at Mexico. Side by side here with Tal and Zach there. And then Zach wants to send it down the inside, forcing his way through. Is he going to concede the position going into turn 7? Are we going to have what happened to Papa Fresh? No, with those quicker, faster softs, he'll keep that position and he'll make a few moves leading through here because everyone's got to be on those medium compounds. Got to take a few laps for those to warm up. Side by side into the heavy braking zone. He's got to leave him and have a little bit of room. There is, and he's got to maintain that position now. He's actually got to flick inside and hold the outside line of turn 16, and he's got to whip it around the outside, and he does before even turn 17 comes up. He's already got that move. So Town's going to be flying through the pack on those fresh softs. Licorice, RIP in the chat. RIP my homeboy. Minute of silence. Masticles has gotten past Papa Fresh here. Oh no, Papa Fresh has flicked back down the inside for an ecstatic move. Contact with the rear right, and he wants to force himself down before turns 1. And we have more contact with the Renaults in the back. What's up with Renaults and being caught up in every incident? So let's see if Papa Fresh is going to send it, and he does. Same move, and he's going to park it in front of Masticles, keeping that position. Now the 2 Alpha Tauris right behind Papa Fresh. This is not the first time he's seen it. This is like little flashbacks I've seen Repel and Masticles right behind him before Papa Fresh, and it probably spins from the nervous and the pressure of just waking up 5 minutes before the race. So let's see what the Dirty Air is doing to Masticles. It's not much, but let's see how Papa Fresh's teammates going against Davies here, who was effectively the leader of the Grand Prix. And he's doing okay. He's maintaining those tyres. As I say that, he locks up. But through this slow stadium sector, you don't want to go into gear 1 because the wheel spin is just way too much for the car, as DRS is enabled side by side. And Masticles versus Tau. Masticles grabbing that outside line, the slower line, I should say. But the ERS from Tau has been consumed, but 20%. And again, when the DRS is enabled, the drivers won't be able to use it until turn 7. So yeah, Masticles and Tau exchange spots into turn 1, and Tau gets 3 seconds worth of time penalties added through the cut of turn 3. So let's see who else is making huge moves. It's Technique on the back of Burt. He doesn't want to use overtake mode yet. Look at the trail braking. The input from the brakes, very wise, keeping those tyres in check. And let's see how Deals is operating here. He's quite familiar with the podiums here at FNL, so he's familiar with racing to his max, as he's used all the ERS. Wisely stays behind Davies, but pushes him. I wouldn't even say pushed him, forced him into an individual mistake. And Sniper Monk with 3 seconds worth, all the way down in P14. But again, Deals, it's not the best move to try and get past him at turn 17, because now you have to defend turn 1. And again, I don't know why Davies has actually turned on his overtake button. He should be saving, because it's just so easy to make a move here. And then to have DRS for after turns 2 and 3, to have it in between that into turns 4 is just massive. So again, deals with a great move into turn 16, 17, but again, you just it's not really worth it unless you do it into turns 1 and try and separate. As Masticles has made a move back on Tau. 3 wide here with Papa Fresh trying to slide in between, and that's Tau. It's a recap of what happened in the USA. It's a side pod incident causing him to half spin into the wall, and he stays there because he just can't get back onto the circuit. But we can see from the replay top right, he just came across, got bumped, and hit the side pod of Papa Fresh's racing point. And yeah, that's an insta-spin moment there. So yeah, Dill's still behind Davies. He's probably waiting for those turn 1 moves now. And Vass looks like he wants to start getting involved as well, using overtake mode. And Yumpsy's into the pits as he started on the medium, so he's got to have 7 laps of rapid soft movement. And time penalties for the top 3. So what's Vass thinking of? Do I just stay behind? And it's a free win? Let's double check if he's made a pit. Yep, every driver has made a pit stop today. Some people have made 3, being Sniper Monk. So let's check their time penalties now. So Davies with the 5, obviously that came from the hit from Crystal, that could potentially be removed, as he will not be serving it in the pit stop. So if the steward's deemed to be an unfair time penalty given by Codemasters, he could get that removed and stay in P1. And then Dills and Null also on 3 seconds lead. So yeah, Vass with the P1 with his name on it, and Masticles can actually slide up as well. Then the rest of the field also have penalties as well, with 5s and 3s across the board. So let's try and find a battle on track. Yumpsy and Ghost. Yumpsy claiming the move into turns 14. And now Ghost. See if he can reply, but Yumpsy's away. Holy crap. He is away indeed. Just pulled with those fresh mediums. Oh no, he's on those softs. He's got to be rapid. So we'll stay on board for Davies for the moment until we see another battle on track, probably from Bert against Zach potentially. He's fallen out of the 1 second range, but he got it through the detection early, so he stays in that DRS. That's actually going to help him there to... Oh, he's outside the second now. Man, Dills is really pushing here. I don't think Davey's actually got the DRS here. He didn't. This is Dills' time. This is Dills' time indeed to push. Oh no, he's out of ERS. Completely out. He's even still got the overtake button on. Must be a visual glitch on my end, like it was with Davies' car last week. Look at the top 3%. And then it all gains back from the braking zone. Whoa, is that a lockup? Maybe it was a massive lockup I just saw there from our leader, as the Very Lazy Tails push for the fastest lap of a 16. Everyone out of DRS, except for our fastest man on track, potentially, Yumpsy. Oh no, Softs, actually technically Tails the fastest car on the track right now with that fastest lap. But look at him go through the S's, the grip of those Softs, the perfect cut as well. Using overtake mode as well, he's just having so much fun on those Softs, you can tell. Even cuts down a little bit there to push Zach out the way. Davies gets DRS, so this is actually going to save him here to stay in contention of the lead of the Grand Prix, even though he's got that 5-second time penalty. So yeah, with the top 3 on time penalties, it's going to be weird to see where they all end up. I mean, behind Vass and Masticles for sure. Is Zach going to make a counterclaim to this? No, I think, yeah, he's fallen 6 tenths behind. I don't think DRS is going to be enough to keep him in this battle against Yumpsy here, because those softs through turn 7 throughout to turns 11, it's got to be just so much quicker. So let's stay on board with Masticles for the meantime until other battles start to develop. Four tenths behind now. Papa Fresh and Lazy Towel exchanging moves. Oh, caught that. Goodbye. Oh, he's parked the car absolutely perfectly. What a parking spot for the officials. This might cause a VHC potentially. But Papa Fresh showing you how it's done on parking the car for the easy accessible spot for the stewards. For the officials there. Sector 2 and 3 yellows, and he's moved out of the way before these drivers could make overtaking moves there. Now Ghost is on the back of Crystal here. It looks like he just got past him, and he did so very quickly. But look at this, Dills flying. Sector, we got some more yellows. Oh, that might be Zach here. And it is. It was with Bert as well. Full front wing lost. He's not going to pull the car up. 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 And a virtual safety car. And I called it. He was not going to pull the car up. You can't go into gear 8. You can't. So Zach's race has finished prematurely. And a virtual safety car could pull some people up. And there it is, 10 seconds worth of time penalties for Papa. Oh no, there he is, that's why. And he's been disqualified. He might have done that on purpose to save his woes. So we have a retirement and a disqualification all within one lap. No, 20 seconds for speed under the safety car. Under the safety car, 20 seconds worth. It's because, I can tell you that right now. And wait, a drive-through penalty. So why is... Hold the... What? Okay, I was about to explain the reason why Newell's getting 20 seconds because he doesn't need to serve his drive-through. Because when the drive-through is given to the driver, they get 3 laps to do it. So if they don't choose to do it, it's just 20 seconds, right? That's the penalty if you don't serve it. It's just 20 seconds.
Good am I at this game?
How good are you at this game? Dude,
Did you get that highlight, that overtake on Masticles at the start?
Yeah, I think I've caught most of it at the start. There was so much shit into turn in lap 1. It was very overwhelming.
Do you know what setup I was using?
No,
I was using a Brazil setup.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Why?
I was actually... Okay, the straight line speed was really good. Corner speed was ridiculous, but it was so twitchy. It was impossible to keep on the track. And the way I spin, I did it exactly the same way twice. The first one caused a safety car, the second the virtual.
Yeah. In at turns 1, was it? I'm pretty sure. Oh no, no, in the S's. I caught that one because Papa, I think Papa went and caught the inside of Newell. So like, I caught yours right at the end of it. So it was, yeah. And then I was telling the stream like, you can't pull up the car in time if you go into gear 8, and you didn't.
Did I get some screen time on my soft tires in the first race?
It's all a blur to me now. Everything's such a blur. As jumps in any minute now, battling at the stadium sector. Yeah, and now Newell jumps down to last with his 20 seconds. So, F.
I'm done with this game, man. I can't anymore.
It's a common theme with this being the last series before the new game.
Is it? Is this the last? Oh shit! All right.
It's the last it's the last legally organized one leading up to the new one. It's a nice.
When
break.
does the new one drop?
July.
What's it now? May.
It's going into June.
What time in July? Early, late?
It's probably like mid. I'm pretty sure it came out the 16th or the 20th last time.
Alright.
Sector 2-3, Tau. Yeah, Tau.
I get a break from this game.
Yeah, that's why everyone gets like a good couple of weeks break leading up to it, you know? I'll have a stretch.
Oh, mate, I have like a bunch of exams next week. And, because of lockdown here in
Thanks,
Melbourne,
Licorice, I needed that.
this is not happening anymore.
Yeah, I know, man. It's good, eh? Sector 3 yellows. Is that Tower going into the pits for one last time? Probably out of fuel. letting all the drivers pass. And Dills claims it. He wins the Grand Prix and he stays there because of time penalties. So does Davies. He actually stays there as well with his 5 second. Vass enters into the podium. Masticle's out by just 2/10. And Null jumps all the way down to... Oh, well, he hasn't finished the race yet. See how far he falls down. Well, 20 seconds. Behind Sniper and Ghost comfortably. Sheesh. More
I'm gonna go back in the other chat.
Yeah, I'll be there soon. Dills carrying Racing Point as per usual. I'm pretty sure this is his first P1. Not his first podium. Pretty sure it's his first win though. But yeah, like you said, carrying Racing Point per usual. Commentary, please, or else I unsub. The guest sucks. No, man. Hey, man. Maybe we pull people in at the end of the race. But yeah, keeping Racing Point in check in the constructors. Probably for maybe a P4 finish. No, P5, I think. If I look at the standings. Okay, so Racing Point with this win might even jump. Oh no, Ghost also got a win as well. So they're really trying to battle with Williams in the constructors and potentially jump Renault. But wow, everything happened at the start of the race. We had an extremely boring middle sector, but then that end game was massive. So Double D's take out the 1 and 2, and then Vass takes out the P3 spot. Mastical has missed a consistency, ending up in that P4. Always in that P5. Always in the top 5. No matter where he starts. Eddie Met Now Technique Yumps, Sniper Wolf, Sniper Domong. Oh, bro, we're not talking about Sniper. Ghost, Null, Burt, Crystal, Tell, and then all of our retirees down at the bottom there. But very unlucky from Null when it came to the virtual safety car, causing him a 20-second time penalty. Maybe the game was nice enough for not to make him, take a, drive-through time penalty and being disqualified. So, but the race that it mattered, where Rappel and Kane do not show up, only Davies is enough to try and pull some points into that battle. But that will be the end of the stream. Thank you all so much for watching. Rounds. We've only got a few rounds left. Actually, it's our last week. Is it? Yeah, so next week is our last week. Week 11 finishes the series here at the FNL Premier League, where we finish off with Brazil and Abu Dhabi. So Friday, 8:30. This has been Alcatraz. Lockdown Melbourne gang. We'll be seeing you next time here on Twitch. Goodbye.